Welcome to the Mechanical Room. The Mechanical Room.
A Centrotherm production focusing on all things in and around the HVAC industry.
And now, your hosts, Michael Sakaris and Matthew Price.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our latest episode of the Mechanical Room. We're going old school. Matthew, why are you home?
Yeah, I got big 2020 vibes here because I'm quarantined currently with the coronavirus. Luckily, I am mostly, 95%-ish asymptomatic, and it's okay. But out of an abundance of caution, of course, I'm not coming into the office. So, harkening back to our early days of the Mechanical Room when we did it similar to this, although you would have been in your home office at that time as well. But I'm back here in the studio, and I'm not going to turn the camera around because this place looks like Hurricane Ian hit it, which is another reason why we're kind of in this locality as well. For those unaware, we were scheduled to be down in Tampa, Florida this week at the Plumbing Hacks trade show at the world famous Trade Winds Island Resort on St. Pete Beach, but they are under a mandatory evacuation order in Florida right now, and luckily we didn't get on a plane there because I would be down there with COVID right now and masked up or whatever. Yeah, I would be either in the hotel room or I'm not sure what the protocol is at this point. It's so far removed from like the beginning days of the pandemic that I guess technically if I'm testing positive, I just can't do anything, right? So, there
were a number of attendees though that went in early, I believe, right, to the Hacks event and ultimately got stuck there, if I'm not mistaken.
I've been trying to follow a little bit of who I know is attending, and certainly there is a spectrum of behavior and outcomes for these folks some of whom were down there and had like a nice day on the beach, like the calm before the storm, literally.
Yeah.
But then there was the pipe wench, for example, posted a photo of what the hotel provided to her, which was essentially GTOF or GTFO, yeah, that's the one. GTFO, kick rocks because this is about to get nasty down here. And I don't know if you've seen some of the video. I can't confirm it. Of course, we're not like a news program, but I saw a video of like a shark swimming around, like in where the floodwaters, yeah,
inside the floodwaters, like inland.
Yes, inland, like a shark swimming above what is clearly a street with street lights.
That Sharknado thing is like a real deal then.
Yes, indeed. So, smartly, I guess it wasn't really even smartly, right? I was going to say, out of abundance of caution, the organizers of the event decided to postpone. However, it wasn't actually even in their control. The state of emergency in Florida and certain evacuation orders mandated that we postpone the trade show. So, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. It was going to be a fun one. We will get back down there as soon as they have the rescheduled dates. So very much was looking forward to it. And I guess we can continue looking forward to it because it will be rescheduled soon enough.
Yes. So maybe in the middle of winter would be even a better time to go to Tampa. So let's keep our fingers crossed and wish you really well.
Yeah,
we had commemorative slaps made.
We did. I got the Mike Sakaris ones right over here as well, just to give everybody a look.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, well, they were going to be limited edition, super nice, fun ones. Thematic Centrotherm slaps here with these handsome sons of bitches on there as well. But now they are really collector's items. So
they are.
We'll be signing them and mailing them out to anyone who wants. So just get in touch, and we'll send you a part of the memories, what could have been down there in St. Pete Beach. So
So I guess let's get ready for the rest of the show. What do we got? What do we have this week or this month?
Well, and the schedule of events here today is we're going to pick a winner for our 2,000 follower giveaway here coming up. Then we, of course, have your favorite section of the show, which is Show Us Your Pipe. And then we're welcoming in Jon from the Mechanical Resource Group. He will be, he works in what we call the VAR universe, the value-added reseller. And he's got a YouTube channel of his own. He makes a lot of great content himself. So
yeah, they're a pretty unique organization. I'm looking forward to chatting with Jon.
Yes, indeed. I want to hear about him and his credentials. He's, of course, the president, so we're going straight to the top on this. And, you know,
the mechanical room, after all, dude. I mean, we just right to the top.
No doubt about it. So we definitely will check in on he himself, but also get a feel for what's going on with him in the greater Nashville area and what they do. So why don't we let's do the giveaway.
Welcome back, everybody. As we said a little bit ago, we had a little giveaway going on for 2,000 followers on the gram, and we hit that mark. What did the folks that entered need to do to get qualified for this, Matthew? I don't remember, quite honestly.
So yeah, me either, because it seems like it was forever ago. And honestly, we're getting closer to 2,200 now because we kind of lost sight of this contest a tiny bit due to just so many things going on. So we posted this 5 weeks ago when we were on the cusp of 2,000 followers, which, you know, is not, you know, an incredible. We're not Kim Kardashian over here. However, as a fledgling plastics manufacturer, that's a pretty significant number for us, and we're continuing to grow. So it's very exciting, and a good shout out and thank you to everybody who engages with us on Instagram. I can't thank enough to the people. Let's just rattle off a few of my absolute favorites, right? Ben from HVAC Strong, the Impetus Plumbing and Heating, Aaron Bond, George the Plumber. I mean, we have a constant flow of amazing stuff from some of the certified hydronic designer, Hydrotech 510. That's Corey out in Northern California. I mean, it just goes on and on. Tap Plumbing. Travis is a friend of ours. I can't express my gratitude enough to all of the folks who keep it lively and fun on the Instagram stuff. There is an incredible community of installers out there. That's why we wanted to do a giveaway to celebrate this stuff. So I'm going to hold this so my cards don't fall out. We're going to
use... What did they need to do to qualify?
Well, they had to send me a little cash under the table, and so
cash always helps.
I got a few envelopes with the little marks on it. No, of course, we wanted to share the post, tag us, and tag a friend in the comments or multiple entries in the comments. So we had quite a few comments on this post. I will show the the graphic here as it is. We're giving away a field kit, by the way, one of the brainchild of Mr. Mike Sakaris over there. We call it the Oh Shit Kit unofficially. We call it the field kit in places that we have to maintain a PG rating.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'd like to keep it PG in the catalog if we can. So
yes,
So we, but the field kit, of course, contains all these parts and an inventory tracker and stuff like that. It's the kind of thing that if you have it on your truck and, you're missing an adapter or an elbow, you just rummage through this amazing Uline box and you have it, right? So the Oh Shit Kit is really starting to take off because it really does augment your installations, make sure you have all the pieces that you want. So you had to post it, or rather share it to your story, tag us, in that share, and then also put somebody else in the comments, right? So we had a lot of interest, and now I've got all of the entry names in this wonderful Grundfos hat that was sent to me by Joel Grundfos. So thank you. One of our favorite pump companies, and I'm gonna shake my booty over here, and we're gonna pick out the winner of our 2,000 follower giveaway, which is kind of funny because we'll pretty soon be doing a 3,000 follower giveaway, and maybe we won't wait as long to run through it. So anyways, without further ado, the winner is...
Drum roll, please.
CU Mechanical. CU Mechanical. CU
I am not sure that I am following CU Mechanical, so I'm going to be reaching out to CU Mechanical and following them. Please follow me back. Congratulations on the victory of the field kit, emergency kit, or my favorite way of saying it, the oh shit kit that you have on your truck just in case. Congratulations. Back now for the second winner of this podcast, and I like this job, and it just came to us very recently, as of like yesterday or the day before yesterday, and I am very impressed with this job because number one, it's got our favorite diamond plate in the back, but it's also a really, really, really neat and very tight installation. Whoever did this job, the individual technician who did this job, managed his space incredibly well. In there, of course, as always, there is some Centrotherm venting, both on the intake and exhaust. There's some aquatherm that I actually learned about when I was at the Hydronics Summit in Canada. And actually, this job is out of Canada. And of course, there is also a triangle tube, as you'll see, boiler in this application, 3 in this application. Matthew, who is the winner?
So quick shout out to our friends at Equipco for posting this out of Windermere, which is I guess a suburb of Edmonton. I've never been there. We'll have to consult our Canuck friends as to how premier this neighborhood is, because that's what the description says. And I'll say, if it is a premier neighborhood, this mechanical room aligns quite nicely with that. This is a premier mechanical room. The way that this aquatherm stuff is laid out is as pro as it gets. I see Axiom on here. I see Takeo on here. As we mentioned, it's 3 rack-mounted triangle tubes. It is just stellar. You mentioned the diamond plate, so I won't even gush about that because I typically do. But Denrite Mechanical coming through with our like one of the finer winners, and insane. I'd love to see where this went, because typically a rack like this goes in at, I don't know, a YMCA or something like this, but this is a residential installation. So I don't know what we got going on here. Snow melt, Olympic-sized swimming pool, I don't know, showers for a stable of horses.
Teenagers that like to shower often, who knows?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, or livestock for, showers or something like that. Who even knows? Either way, wherever this is installed, with all of this premier products and technology, it is very deserving of this month's Show Us Your Pipe award. So thanks again to Equipco for posting it, and to Denrite Mechanical for utilization of premier products in what is undoubtedly an incredible residence. Welcome back to the Mechanical Room, and we welcome in Jon Fruetel, a YouTube star in his own right and the president of Mechanical Resource Group. Jon, how are you, sir? Welcome to the show.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Doing great. Yeah, good to be with you, Matt. Good to be with you, Mike. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course, welcome. So I guess let's just kick it off with a little bit of a biography situation. Who the hell are you? How'd you get to where you are? Tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Mechanical Resource Group.
Yeah, so Jon Fruetel, President Mechanical Resource Group. MRG is kind of how we go by here locally. We are a rep business. We sell HVAC, industrial, commercial equipment, and then we have a service group, and we have an aftermarket parts group, and we are all things HVAC in Middle Tennessee. Nashville is our world headquarters, and our goal is to serve our clients who we see as owners, contractors, engineers, anybody who is trying to figure out something HVAC related. That's us.
Excellent.
Very cool.
So
Let me ask a question. You said rep, and you indeed are a rep. We internally here at Centrotherm try to verbally or distinguish between wholesale reps that call on wholesale, and then we have a term that we just created because we wanted to be different. And we call it value-added resellers. So you're selling and you're repping,
Yeah,
but
that's
you're
right.
creating a different type of value. Can you tell
Yeah.
us how you see
Yeah. So
yourself and what that value is?
we're not wholesalers. So we are the old school rep business back in the day when reps were independently owned and operated. And people were we were selling equipment, getting it specified, getting it out there, and then also supporting the contractors and the owners and anybody who's participating in our products to make sure that they work right. And usually we're dealing with applied products, not so much unitary, and that's pretty much the biggest difference for us. And being a value added provider is that we are helping engineer and support to get it up and working.
So what does that look like? Tell us what you do
Yeah,
with it.
so I have a team, and they work with consulting engineers. Their goal is to get their products specified, designed, utilized in new construction design. And then we have contracting engineers. They follow up with their contractors. Supposed to be friends with them. Sometimes that's hard, especially when lead times are really really far out. Always kind of helping contractors be profitable, have good jobs, give them equipment. Our jobs are primarily we do a lot of chill water, hot water, hydronic systems. And so it's not just like a rooftop unit that's getting in the back of a pickup truck. You know, we're all our stuff is pretty much custom. We're helping the engineers lay it out, get it designed, and then the contractors make sure that custom gear is operating the way that it should be. And then ultimately, the owner has to live with this building and these products, and they need support for it to work, and we help them out too.
Let me ask a follow-up question.
Yeah.
So, you guys have a line card. You've got some pretty powerful, lines on that car. Yaskawa from my old electrical days and Centrotherm, of course. How do companies like yourself partner up? How do you determine who do you want to partner up with? Because the services that you provide are very unique and very specialized and skilled. So how do you partner up with different manufacturers?
Yeah, different manufacturers. So with we've been blessed with we got excellent manufacturers, and part of our mission is to be the leader in our market. And so we're leading, not necessarily the biggest, but we're thinking towards the future. So we're leading the industry. We are serving our clients as we ourselves would like to be served, serving our associates, making sure we're taking care of our community and educating them, giving back to community, and then also taking care of our vendor partners. So that's part of it. And for that is we have to stand the gap between the end user and the manufacturer. And so when we partner with world-class providers of equipment, we need partners who understand, have the technical competence and capabilities, and are willing to support people to get it in the field and to get it up and running. And we've been blessed to have some really world-class manufacturers that have trusted us with their lines, and our job is to go promote their products, help them get market share, measure market share, capture market share, and by protecting that product and the manufacturer's reputation and our reputation and the contractor's reputation, we're really out there solving problems and making sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible, because this is construction, these are mechanical systems, and very rarely does everything go perfect. Never seen that before. And so it's not so much like you're only as good as you are at fixing the problem that you got involved in. So you need to be able to fix it. And that's why we're value add. We have a service group. We have engineers on staff. We have aftermarket parts. And really, you need all those things to make something go. And we've had success doing that for about 15 years, and we've been able to be successful in our territory in Middle Tennessee, and we're continuing to grow. And thankfully, we're in a market that is growing. Nashville is a place people want to go to, and we were just lucky to be in the right spot. So thankful for that.
So, speaking of world-class manufacturers, we are a new in your world essentially.
Yeah.
So, can you just trace the I don't know if evolution is the right way, but the path that has brought us here together today? Because I was told about you by Bill Summers, our Central Regional Sales Manager and whatnot. So now Centrotherm is and MRG are partners, let's say.
Yeah.
And can you just sort of trace how that all came to be?
Oh yeah. So part of being a leader is always looking towards new products, where are we going to be in the future? Where's HVAC going to be in the future? And Centrotherm has a really great product. It's a UL product. It's designed for condensing boilers. Really helps condensing boilers go in, be successful. The boiler world has been neglected for decades, for a really long time. People putting in, especially when condensing boilers came out, people were putting them in. They didn't even realize it was a condensing boiler, and they're operating in condensing states. And when you deal with, flue and exhaust and all that, sometimes we were waiting for the flue pipe longer than we were the boiler. We had a boiler sitting there. We're still waiting for flue pipe. And then a lot of people are going back and forth with PVC, whether or not you can do PVC with condensing boiler flue stacks and such. And back in the day, we were always saying, no, you need to do your stainless steel vent pipe, and it gets expensive and it gets their lead times to it. So we're always looking towards what is that next thing. And I was thankful to have Tim Morales stop by our office. I don't know if you guys know Tim.
The legendary Tim Morales, absolutely.
And I hadn't even really met Tim until he came by this year, and he was like, "Hey, I think we have a product that I know your contractors want it, and if you just have it on your shelf, I think people will call you and buy it." And I was like, "Well, tell me more about that." And he walked me through Centrotherm. We went over all the UL ratings and why the polypropylene was a better product than just PVC, and really demystified that whole concept between can you do PVC or can you not. And once we kind of realized the science behind Centrotherm and how it was manufactured and all the little idiosyncrasies that Centrotherm has put into, I mean, you guys are, rather than making 90s, I think you guys are making 87s, right, in order to get the right fall. And all the products are coming together. So after Tim was able to kind of show the value proposition, it was somewhat of a no-brainer. And so we started stocking, and we're selling it right off the shelf. So Centrotherm is just one of those things that I think is gonna be a product that helps contractors be more profitable, more consistent, and it can be a system that they can teach skilled trades, and they can walk away really, really confidently knowing that, hey, this system is how it goes together, has a drawing. These pieces go together kind of like an erector set, like Legos, and I'm not going to have a condensing boiler stack that's not venting properly, and my client's going to have a long-term solution. So with all that, I mean, I think Centrotherm is a no-brainer, and I love the fact that it's a product that we can keep on the shelf, and it's a lot easier to cut than metal. So, and sure. Our folks
that was an A+ summary of Centrotherm, and it's relatively new. Yeah, so that very well. Good. I don't know if I could have done it better.
Okay, well, I just listen to Tim. That's all I do.
And that is a good lesson on a personal note. And I know I'm not alone in this. I have the deepest respect and admiration for Tim Morales and his whole organization. By and large, I think he is just an incredibly kind and knowledgeable and professional person who I have personally learned a lot from. and we are extremely blessed to have him as part of the team, clearly. And so, I mean, just shout out to Tim, who, like, I was doing, Be Still My Heart. I just love Tim Morales. He's incredible. Mike can attest. I weep with admiration for the man. He's an incredible guy, and just someone we are so lucky to be on our team. So here's an interesting question.
If I could sell like him, or if I could just be like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, so but I was in Athens a couple of weeks back, and I was texting with him, and he just sends me back a photo of him at the Parthenon. I mean, he's just the best. He tells me where I need to go. He's like, oh, you got to spend a month in Tuscany afterwards. He's got just a fascinating.
Did you block out that month on the vacation calendar already?
I did. All right. Next, I'm taking an Italian summer next year, full August off. Just the way that they do it in Europe. So no, he's just the best. Super funny, super knowledgeable. What a leader. His guys are all professional. They have been crushing it for us since the beginning. And we can't really say enough about them. So something that we say about this podcast, however, is it's not a commercial for Centrotherm, despite that last couple of minutes there where you gave the pitch that I give at the trade shows.
Yeah, that was pretty commercially, but I think it's true. Yeah.
Thank you.
So here's a question for you. What other lines, what other products do you have that sort of same, I don't want to say affinity for, but that fit nicely in your nebula? What else do you have?
Category leader. Who are? I mean, a lot of them are, but who stands out in your mind as category leaders on your line card? Give them a shout out.
I think a new one that I'm really excited about is Oxygen 8. They carved out a niche. They make slimline BRV DOAS systems. So when people are putting like split systems in, and then you need outside air for it, Oxygen 8 went out there and they kind of carved out a niche for that. So the reps that carve out niches and solve problems for contractors and engineers that they've been struggling with, and somebody's like, hey man, I think we can fix this. Who else? Mass, a company called Mass. They partner up with Daikin. They build like custom air handlers and make fan wall solutions for retrofit, and they can make a custom air handler fit in a space that a lot of people haven't been able to. So those manufacturers that are able to kind of think outside of the box. We just met with Diversified Heat Transfer yesterday. Those guys make decoupled heat exchangers. They make them up in New Jersey. And Chris Bove came in town and did just a really nice job of showing how you can provide hot water in a really easy way that solves a lot of problems. So the ones that go out there and find that problem that no one's been able to solve and are able to kind of fill that niche are the ones that are the most fun to go talk to people about. Let's see another one. Riello, that's a newer line for us. They make a really nice condensing boiler, modular, a lot of redundancy in its design. Italian craftsmanship, really nice product, and that's cost effective. And then I really love, I'd say they are a flagship, but Avapco is a leader to us. The fact that they got 3 manufacturing plants in the U.S. and that they're a private company, and they went out and bought a whole bunch of raw materials to be able to load up their factories and be able to keep providing solutions and cooling to everybody during this supply chain crunch. It's been awesome. I would love to say my Yaskawa, and I love this guy, but I haven't gotten a new VFD on my loading dock in a few weeks, and everybody knows this.
There you go.
Throwing some shade. That's called throwing shade right there.
Oh, I love these guys, but man, VFD people, variable anything. I can't get anything right now. So I would sell all I had, but I already have. So I just need some more. And that's
I've got some friends at Yaskawa, so I'm going to reach out to them and put a spank into them.
And everybody knows it too. It's a tough time to be in manufacturing, and that's where for reps, that's where we have to like work even harder to be able to kind of fill that gap for these clients. When people are waiting for something and they can't afford to wait, you got to get creative and you got to come up with some solutions. So every day we're working extra hard to come up with some solution for somebody, and sometimes it costs us money, but we know that's going to hopefully come back to us and when things get back to normal.
Yeah, well, on a personal note,
you mentioned Riello. We
Yeah.
certainly know the Riello team, good friends of ours. And actually that kind of ties almost back with Tim Morales. I think you guys are doing some type of training or symposium with the Riello team and Tim, I believe, right? Is that
we got so October 14th. So we do about 4 symposiums is what we call them. We bring in a national speaker, a thought leader. We talk about new products and new ways to do things. So Riello is going to come in town. We're going to talk about condensing boilers. We're going to talk about how to not screw up a condensing boiler job. And I don't think you can ever you can't talk about that too much. What does my gas pressure need to be? What are my operating temps? How do I get redundancy? What does turn down actually look like? We're going to go through a lot of those things, and then we're going to have Centrotherm come in and talk about, okay, how do we vent this, and how we've been venting it, for the last, umpteen decades, and then what is the way that we could do this moving forward? And I think we're going to really kind of shake things up a bit, and I think contractors are going to be really excited to know that, hey, there is a product out there that gives a lot of flexibility and gives some autonomy back to them, from a training, from a skilled tradesman standpoint, and something that they can reproduce over and over again and be successful with. So I think Centrotherm and Riello will do both that.
So how much of this are we going to see on your YouTube channel, which is the next phase of this conversation I'd like to chat about, is your content creation?
Our YouTube channel is dedicated to the skilled tradesmen primarily, and that's who we want to be a technical resource to them. We want to be a safe, even though we are a professional sales organization, we don't. Our goal is not to sell in our YouTube channel. We call it Mechanical Pros. It is part of Mechanical Resource Group, but it is somewhat decoupled, and it's not salesmanship. We post a new video every Thursday, and we usually pick a topic just to encourage engagement in the skilled trades, to increase technical competency, and to really kind of share a lot of the things that hurt us or that we screwed up in the past, that we learned. So many times the best lessons are the painful ones, and if we can communicate those painful ones without somebody else experiencing that pain that we felt, hopefully that'll be a success for somebody else, and they can profit from that and get into this really awesome world of HVAC that isn't going anywhere, and we desperately need more and more talented people in this industry. And I really wish we had a bigger pipeline of skilled trades coming into HVAC, and any way that we can get the word out, say, hey, this is a great way to make a living. And you not only can you learn a technical career, but you can also learn the business side of it too. And you don't have to be out in the field for the rest of your life. I mean, a lot of the best guys I have on my staff have been out in the field. They learned it, they mastered the field, and then they come in the office, and now they're really a consultant to clients and help them make buying decisions, purchasing decisions, and problem solving. And so we're just trying to encourage that, and we're trying to do it through YouTube because it's a good medium and people like to watch how-tos. So
yeah, so I mean,
we often talk about the shortage of skilled trade, and hats off to you and your organization for taking time and effort to educate the trade. It definitely is something that is needed, and hats off to you for making that effort.
Yeah, so I found a home here in HVAC myself, which is someplace that I never would have ever imagined. I'm like an accordion player and just like a jazz piano guy, whatever, right? I never ever expected that this would be like sort of
a little bit more skill than that. Don't.
Well, I appreciate that, but I never.
You're a good accordion player. Yeah.
I never imagined that I would make a career in a field that, like, if you dialed it back 15 years, I don't even think I could have. I wouldn't have told you what HVAC stood for at that point. So,
Yeah.
but in conjunction with it all, right? So this is our podcast. We're doing mechanical room and mechanical room adjacent sort of stuff, but that does lead to what's going to happen next when I download this file, which is I'm going to download the file and I'm going to throw it into Adobe Premiere and chop it up and edit it, make it look all kinds of good. So, I do what I can add to Centrotherm's, marketing department, but the industry overall. So I guess a roundabout way is to come back to the content creation stuff. Tell me what something that the most fun element of the YouTube channel for you and the most frustrating element of the YouTube stuff.
Yeah. So explaining to so I didn't want it to be about me. I didn't want it to be the Jon Fruetel show.
I feel you.
And so I bring in primarily I'll bring in like Brian Reese, who's my service manager, or Quentin Butler, who's a service supervisor, or I try to bring in guys from the team and just kind of share experiences. And so like getting them to like understand like, hey man, this is why are we doing this? And I'm really busy. I got clients out there who, why are we like trying to be like video stars? So like, man, we're not trying to be video stars. We're just trying to educate and get some engagement and people. I appreciate when someone does a high quality video and share some information. I mean, it really helps me out. And if we can do that same thing, I think HVAC is behind from how to share and how to keep up with the times from a marketing standpoint and education standpoint. And I think we got some catching up to do. And how we train and how we communicate really matters. And it's such a technical field. And we hardly ever record anything. We hardly ever share anything. We just kind of go out and we do it over and over again. I was like, so let's capture this. Let's put it on a platform that can be shared. And everyone's going to do better the more we all know, and we're going to have less problems out there in the field that we have to go just waste time and money on. And there's so much to do, from like efficiency improvements to building improvements, comfort improvements. Like we don't need to be going back and fixing last year's problems. We need to be building for the future. And the more we can teach and train, I think the faster we will get there. But we got a little bit of work to do. And YouTube's been fun. The one of the funniest things is like I didn't do a great job of like prepping my guys like when we're shooting something, because we would just kind of do like a one take shoot. And so I'd sit there and I'd be like, hey man, I should have said, hey, I'm going to ask you questions that I already know the answer to, but I'm just going to ask this question so like we're going to keep the conversation going. And I was doing this with Matt one time, and I asked him like I can't remember what the question, but it was a stupid question. Like I needed to know this question, but he kind of stopped in the middle of it and looked at me like I was the dumbest person in the whole world. Like, I can't believe I'm working for you. I was like, man, I know the answer. I just need you to say it so we can, keep the dialogue going on.
To the people out there who may not know, right?
Yeah. And then, so that's to me, that's fun. And then just the prep of getting, making sure you're ready to go shoot. And then the technology portion of it is making sure that all your gear works. And, I put out a tweet this weekend, or I think a LinkedIn post. I was like, don't let technology destroy your dreams. And, Homer Simpson meme of him trying to like, figure out what button to push on his computer. But, those are the frustrating parts. But the fun part is, seeing people get engaged and talk about it and get excited about it. And then seeing that when it's fun, people talk about stuff. So seeing that message get out there.
Yeah, I mean, that is my almost not day to day exactly, but it's, getting it all together, getting the technology together, getting the pre-production, making sure we have the resources, and then after the fact, gathering certain assets, downloading little sound effects I want to use, making sure I have the right lower thirds to introduce people and all that other stuff. It's the kind of stuff that is super labor intensive for even just a microsecond of time on there, but it is what separates sort of amateur from professional sort of stuff. And your stuff looks really crisp and clean. I will probably cut in a tiny little bit of you interviewing somebody or something like that, just to give everybody a look at what it looks like.
Oh yeah, good.
What's that?
That's great. Yeah, no,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
great. Yeah,
Absolutely. You do a great job. I've watched a handful of these videos because, getting in preparing for this, so we could then, and of course I know the answers about these YouTube questions, but I ask anyway to keep the conversation rolling. So, how about some off the wall stuff? Give me your opinion on Nashville hot chicken.
Nashville hot chicken. So, I don't like hot stuff.
Okay.
Like I've done it. I just don't need to keep doing it over and over again.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah.
That's
my opinion of Nashville hot chicken.
We were in Nashville, 2 years ago now? I forget what it was.
It was before the pandemic.
We had to go, when we travel, we try to, sample the local fare, and we tried it.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. We had some good pickles on that sandwich. I wish I could remember the place that we were at.
The pickles are the highlight of the sandwich, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree there. I like hot stuff, but the pickles were the highlight.
Experience it once. Yeah.
Exactly. Got to experience it once, right? When in Rome, you do as the Romans do. When in Nashville, you go to Kid Rock's bar and throw your bra at him or something.
I always do that. Yeah.
So are you from Tennessee?
No, not really from anywhere. I was born in Atlanta. My dad worked for the train company growing up, TRANE, HVAC. So I was in Atlanta. He worked there, and then followed him to Orlando. Lived in New Jersey for a while. I was never going to get in the HVAC business. When I graduated high school in New Jersey, I went to Auburn University in Alabama, a state school in Alabama. And like all my friends went to these fancy private schools in the Northeast. And they thought I was going to trade school, and they were like, "Hey, do you take your tools to class?" And I was like, I do, and I need to, but and I would, but we're still, doing, math and all that kind of stuff too. So I went to Auburn. I was a building science major. My goal was to be a contractor, a general contractor, and then just got kind of sucked into this business, and then been doing this for about 13 years, going on 13 years. So.
Beautiful. All right, so we're coming up on about towards the end of this here. So let's close it out with a little bit more of Jon the Man, who you are as a person outside of the mechanical room. So Mike is a big metal head. He recently he was in Colorado, basking in the flame throwing heat of Iron Maiden. I'm sorry, that was in Salt Lake, not Colorado.
Great show.
Yes, I'm, as you can see, a bit of a Rastafarian. I love the Grateful Dead and jam band type stuff. I have like an Allman Brothers tattoo hidden over here. What kind of music do you listen to?
Yeah, so like my safe answer is always like, I'm a Black Crowes guy. Like I was a big Black Crowes guy growing up. But then like what do I play the most? Like, I like Kanye. I do Kanye. And I think Kanye is the Bob Dylan of my generation.
I would never in a bajillion of years have predicted that coming out of your mouth. I am also a Kanye fan, specifically, College Dropout. But I mean,
Donda is a great album, and not many people still put out albums, and he still puts out an album that's a story all the way through. And that's like what Dylan did back in the day. But I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I fully stand behind that. But I still, I wasn't allowed to have the Amorica album, but I still had the Amorica album, the Black Crowes Amorica album. And
Mike doesn't understand why.
I'm missing that.
Yeah,
I'll tell you after we close the recording off. It's the cover art is her suit.
But the last song, Descending, man, that's an all-time classic, and I could play that over and over and over again.
So that'll be on my playlist for today here at the office.
Yeah, Black Crowes are kind of unsung. They're kind of like, they were jam band adjacent. So they played a lot of the festivals and stuff. So I've seen them a number of times over the years, and
Chris?
they're kind of sort of underrated in a lot of ways. I was very disappointed when Jimmy Page, I think he fell and he hurt his back or something like that. And I was going to see Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes during that whole Live at the Greek tour years ago. And
where were we going to see it? Because I think I saw
they were opening for the Who at MSG.
Okay.
and unfortunately Jimmy Page got injured, and they replaced him with the son of the aforementioned Bob Dylan's band, the Wallflowers, which was a significant downturn from the Black Crowes
No,
to the
that's
Wallflowers.
Jacob Dylan.
Correct.
Yeah.
Indeed.
A little different from Bob.
Yeah, well, Bob is one of my absolute all-time favorites, and I've been blessed to see. I just do shows all the time, and I've seen Bob Dylan.
Jacob's in Nashville, Billy, and I see him around here once in a while.
Oh, is that true? Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm sure I mean, Taylor Swift lives there too, I believe, so she's probably out and about.
Gracie hasn't gone out in a while. Yeah.
Well, to bring it back to Kanye and Taylor Swift, it's we go every which way we can on the Mechanical Room here. Is basically what it comes down to. But it's funny. Kanye would not have expected that, but really is, especially the earlier albums are really groundbreaking music in my opinion.
Oh, I think Donda is his best album.
You think Donda is his best album?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fascinating. I mean, I would say most likely you're in the minority on that opinion.
Yeah.
But
okay
certainly, I mean, yeah. So I mean, they're all fascinating in their own ways, and of course, guys, regardless of all the other insanity that's been in his world for however, for the last couple of years, let's say, I mean, certainly a creative, force. And I mean, have you seen the Netflix documentary, the little 3-part documentary that came out like about 6-8 months ago?
No.
Kind of fascinating. A friend of his just rolled cameras from way back in the day. There's some really interesting footage of him and his mom, and stuff from long before he was, original Kanye, and definitely long before he was, like, let's say, heel turn Kanye of the most recent years and stuff. So really fascinating stuff. So, Mike, you have anything else to add, or we'll get John back to providing YouTube content and mastering the hydronic arts and all stuff like that?
Mike saw Metallica 3 years ago. They were great.
Yeah, the Metallica's always good live. We'll let them run. If you guys need anything for the Hydronic Summit, please reach out to Bill or Tim or us here. We'd be happy to support you in any way. Inevitably, I'm going to be down in Nashville with Matthew as well. We'll hook up and grab a beverage or two when
some hot chicken.
Some hot chicken, extra pickles. Welcome back. We are now closing the show. We've had 2 winners, a wonderful guest, the 2 best podcast hosts available in the world. Am I stretching it? Maybe a little bit.
Not at all. I personally agree with all of that you said. We definitely had 2 winners. We definitely had a Show Us Your Pipe guy. Definitely had a very interesting guest, and we definitely are the best podcast hosts in the history of podcasts.
Check.
Joe Rogan, take a long walk off a short pier, Rogan. So
interesting. This was our first, and we were talking about it after we finished. John was our first, what we call value-added reseller. Their company does some pretty cool stuff. They do some pioneering work, if I may say, with some of the training and some of the symposiums that they do. Pretty cool company.
Yeah, definitely. I very impressive stuff, especially with the, we've been lucky. Like, we always talk about how good our guests are, and we've had quite a few people with the same sort of theme of uplifting the industry. Right?
Absolutely.
So when we do this, and it's not a commercial for the Inaflu product or Excellent or anything like that, he does his YouTube channel as truly an educational thing. He, someone in Pacific Northwest, let's say, can learn something, but they're not going to buy from a vendor in Tennessee, most likely. I suppose there are some sort of outlier situations where it might happen, but
jobs maybe, but not as likely.
Right, exactly. So really, it's providing a service, and it is for the good of the industry overall that he's doing that stuff, and the videos are very, very good. So I recommend everybody check out.
And the guys that he's got doing them are very knowledgeable. I was watching a few before we got underway today, and they do a really nice job, and he's got some knowledgeable people that people can learn from, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, you got to respect that. And John himself, very enigmatic character. The Kanye stuff came out of nowhere. I did not expect that at all. But at the same time, it does speak to Kanye's overall popularity, which is, of course, very widespread. maybe diminishing a bit in 2022 because of the erratic behavior and like the death threats to his ex's current boyfriends and things like that. I don't stay up exactly on all that. We'll have to have some of our
even bad press is press. Better than no press, as they say, right?
I guess all publicity is good publicity, even if it's
that's more like it. Thank
like
you.
Death threats to Pete Davidson. I think he did that. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I know that he certainly had some weird, like, let's say, DMs and strange Instagram posts that he posts up and then deletes afterwards. But I mean, he's so popular that people screen cap his stuff.
Forever, man. Nothing on the internet, as I tell my kids, it goes away.
Right. Yes, indeed. And as such, this will be on the internet forever as well. The September episode of the Mechanical Room. Our thanks to Denrite Plumbing, CU Mechanical, Jon Fruetel, and the Mechanical Resource Group, and the Mechanical Pros YouTube channel. And you, Mike Sakaris, thank you for joining us again.
Matthew Price. We will see everybody in about a month. Farewell.
Yes, indeed. Get ready for round 2 of Centrotherm Password come Christmas time as well. I think.
Are we doing that again?
I think so. I think I might wear a tuxedo.
I was on the winning team.
As well. My technological power and editing prowess has only increased. So it's time to get back into the game show den, and we could see. Let's see.
This one on the cold, Matthew. I didn't know that this was coming.
You got 90 days to prepare. So you and JJ, team 1, you got to defend your crown, I think.
Ooh, who's going to be our? We got to figure that out.
I think maybe
let's do the title.
Maybe Austin and let's see who else. Austin and maybe we could pick out another engineer. Maybe Austin and Omar, or someone from the engineering bench, and then we could get some real technical password challenges. Never know.
Okay. Yeah, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
I don't apply my technical prowess like I did back in the day, being in the role that I have, but
you know these ones. We'll get it.
The problem is doing it in the password format. That's the problem.
Well, we'll figure it out, because I think it was a lot of fun, and I mean, I personally had a ton of fun doing that last year. So I mean, and it's not too early to start thinking about Christmas, even though Halloween's just around the corner.
And with that said, we've got some Halloween spectaculars coming. Watch your social media. I think the Avengers are going to be assembling at Centrotherm, Albany, New York.
Are you going to make stickers out of that thing I made yesterday?
Oh, that was beautiful. I have the Greek theme going, but this one was too good to not break the trend,
So, I mean, obviously, the Grecian element to your overall being is central to who you are, but Marvel ain't that far behind, my friend.
No, I've been a Marvel fan since I was in 7th grade. I can trace it back.
So, yeah, just for everybody, we will have obviously good content coming out of this as well. But come Halloween, we elected Mr. Sakaris to be the leader of the Avengers, Tony Stark, for Halloween. I wanted to be Thor, but I was overruled because we actually have a better Thor. I will be Doctor Strange. Some of our
the facial growth going on there.
Yeah. God, this is terrible. How do you deal with these beards? I can't wait to November 1st. I can shave this shit right off because I can't deal with this anymore. But at least it does indicate commitment to the character.
Yes, it does. One of my favorites. You know that. I would have happily been a Doctor Strange, but I'm okay with Tony Stark too.
Yeah, well, I mean, we elected you the leader, of course. We've got Joel as Thanos, our CEO, of course, being Thanos. We have customer service team let's see who's represented already. Black Widow is represented. The Scarlet Witch, I believe Kara is being. We have a Hawkeye. We have a Thor. We have a Loki. We made active military. Austin is Captain America, of course. Made perfect sense. And who else? Am I missing anybody? Well, Isabel, I thought might be Nick Fury if she couldn't get her costume together, because she kind of has this, she bears a.
It's one of the variants. If you're watching some of the Marvels, it's a female Nick Fury, Nicole Fury. One of the variants.
Exactly. Izzy does not have that prominent facial hair, but I'm sure she'll do a good job with some makeup and stuff. So, anyways, it looks like your screen has frozen. It looks like your screen has frozen, so that's a good time to call it a show. good afternoon, good evening, and good night to our Mechanical Room listeners. We will be back with the October edition in just a couple of weeks, so we'll see you guys around.